Things happened. Things happened and nobody was very happy about it.
There was a big horrible plague. We don't have a cure for it.
Lots of fighting.
Lots of fighting. We need to kind of clarify certain bits and bobs in the history.
So someone tried to rewrite history and do history.
Someone tried to rewrite history. Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to die now.
Live on stream.
Thought I had more notes on King Casimir in my obsidian, and I don't appear to. Are they under notes to expand? No. Cool. Moving on. Let's start. Do we want to start at the furthest back in history and work our way forward?
I believe that's probably the best way to go.
So the forming of the Alliance of Casimir.
Yes.
Things what we know. We know these things to be true, as 10 Candles would say.
The world is dark.
World is dark.
I mean, have you seen outside lately?
It is very dark outside right now.
It's also cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Maybe 5.
We know that King Casimir, when he was young, wasn't interested in being the king.
No.
That he went on a pilgrimage of some description to put off being the king, or to walk amongst his people to see what life was like amongst the hoi polloi. And during this time, he fell in love with Viorica.
Indeed, he did.
And between her convincing him and him realizing that if he didn't go back and become the king, somebody else would, and it probably wouldn't be very good, I'm guessing. He realized he needed to come back and be the king, and he needed to bring the species of Tamrinor together to form this alliance, to apes together strong.
Apes together are strong. There's a documentary I watched. It's called Planet of the...
We've previously stated, or it's previously here, 2 previous rulers has attempted to unite the Ravenstone Marshes, but King Casimir IV was able to bring his people together, and from that spread out from the marshes to spread the alliance across the whole of Tamrinor.
Yes. I remember this point.
At this point, I think we need to name the two former rulers and work out what they didn't do that Casimir was able to.
Are we saying this is what the history books of today say, or are we saying this is what actually happened?
Yes. That is also a challenge. What version of this would you like?
I seem to remember a conversation we had in the dim and distant past, asking the question: did Casimir actually exist, or is it just a convenient legend to explain what happened in a palatable way?
So the real question is this particular bit of the book, we kind of have to present both, I feel. We have to have what actually happened and also the commonly held and commonly taught belief. I think at this point, in this particular moment, we need to come up with the commonly held answer, what the history books of Tamrinor in the year 680 something are saying about events that occurred 680 years ago. And again, I don't think King Casimir didn't exist. I think that what the actual history books say, or what the actual history says, is that there were 2 or 3 people, maybe even as many as 4, whose deeds merged into one. And that some of the actions of these people were Casimir. I think first off, we need to come up with the details of these 2 previous rulers. Now, one of them could be Casimir III or Casimir II. I feel that we possibly need to come up with a different name for one of them.
I feel I'm liking the idea that both of them don't have the name Casimir.
I was just thinking that as well.
It makes because otherwise it's like, even if no matter how much good he does, he comes from Casimir the overly rambunctious or whatever they're going to call him, where she's like, oh, don't we give a not really liking him. His ancestor was overly rambunctious.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because we have a mechanism in here to change what happened.
We do.
Like what actually happened is not what people remember happening. We have that mechanism inbuilt right now.
Blah.
Because my mind, as twisted as it is thinking, what if there was no Casimir the first, second, or third?
That is a possibility, I guess. I mean, could it be that Casimir IV is actually just the Casimir IV?
That's quite a good idea, actually. I like that.
Because that does go on to an idea I had a minute ago when it comes to you saying about the deeds of Casimir maybe not being him. Could it be that he had kind of like this Casimir or whoever determined became Casimir was actually just a normal adventuring party, and that his other party like all their different party members managed to get the other species and things on side by helping them in some way or gaining their respect in some manner. But then just over time, it kind of just blended into, oh yes, this one guy did it.
So they were an adventuring party of 4 people.
Yeah. So it was the Casimir 4 or something
Casimir.
like that. Yeah. Like, and as I said, it could be that none of them were called Casimir. Like,
I'm just wondering, can we do anything with the initials or something, making the letters CSMR or something?
Yes, probably.
That's
like 4 other names we've got to come up with now, though. So
I know.
At least you know what they begin with. At least you know what they start with.
Throwing fuel onto the fire.
But going back to the idea of the rulers, we want 2 rulers who attempted to unify the races but failed.
So initially, it just says they attempted to unite the Ravenstone Marshes. Because I assume that, like, you've kind of got this idea that you can't unite the entire continent until you've united the bit around where your center of power is.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing,
if that's going to hell in a handbasket, you can't begin to do the rest of it.
You can't worry about what's over there until you've sorted your shit out over here.
Exactly.
So I think the thing that we've discussed in the past is that Casimir, or the Casimir, drained the swamp away from around Lawfell and made farming land. And once you make farming land, you've then got food, and with food you can support a bigger populace. And with a bigger populace, you've got potential for a bigger army to be the "you should follow me" or "these guys will have something to say about it." So I think at least one of them tried to get a big army, but wasn't able to support it with the food requirements.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm out of ideas.
Because I have a problem with the idea that Casimir succeeded, or the Casimir, or whatever, succeeded just because he had a big army. As in uniting everyone else, particularly outside of the Raven Marshes.
Yes.
Because that makes him out to be a bit of a fucking tyrant.
I also have a similar problem with that, for much the same reason of I don't want Casimir to be a dick.
Because I could see one of the previous attempts was that he previous ruler tried to throw his weight around and it just fell apart.
Yeah.
That could be King Resivan III.
Yeah.
I'll put this in the council chat.
Appreciated. Do like it when people can spell their things for me. So King Resivan III.
He tried to unite the marshes by getting a big army and basically telling everybody this is how it's going to be, and they said nope.
Yeah, and there was then they revolted. The The peasants revolted. The peasants were revolting.
So
And
it didn't work by force. The second one the second one would try to do it through taxation or trying capitalism.
I was thinking of a taxation or just like subterfuge, like trying to go into the other settlements and trying to undermine them, but just the. But he was inept, so he sent rubbish spies. I know Griswold the inept.
Griswold the inept.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
Because there's nothing I feel we've kind of veered away from in a lot of this Tamrinor. There's splashes of silliness, but not enough in my opinion.
I mean, he could have been inept. He could have been horrible with money.
That too. But he will be forever known as Griswold the inept.
So, military force failed. Capitalism fails.
Capitalism / spies fail.
Yep. The subterfuge fails. So community is the one that succeeds.
Yeah. Like Casimir drains the marshes, as we said, manages to get arable land. He's able to look after and feed his populace, which
I've just put some names in the chat you may want to look at and see what you think.
I like them.
Which then, upon him, not forcing people to become join his forces or army, because through just growing an army, people just wanted to help.
Oh, sorry.
Because
quick question: is it Casimir or Casimir?
Casimir.
Okay, let me just change one of these letters around. There we go. What do you think? The stream has no idea yet because I haven't actually said anything. But
no, I think we'll come back to that in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
King Casimir, Ivy and Queen Viorica. I can spell that. I wrote it. I don't know if I came up with that name, but somebody did. Were able to drain the swamps and create arable farming land and a space. Hello. Hello, Tanny. I'm the picture of health right now.
It's a very blurry picture.
I am the very model of a modern major general. I mean,
indeed,
it may be the before photo.
And after, why does he look worse?
Ooh, did you enjoy it?
Yeah. Did they enjoy what?
They have finished watching Wicked.
I still need to watch Wicked.
At some point, I will get round to watching Wicked 2. I went to go and view it the other weekend, but it was busy because it had just come out.
Yeah, not the best time to see it.
No. Also, Zootropolis 2 is out now.
It is. I want to see it. I've not got high hopes for it. but I want to see it. Eh, eh, eh. So,
If you're just joining us, we're coming up with names.
like Bob, Larry, and Jim,
Fred. Fred's always a favourite name.
and Steve.
Not Steve.
Especially Steve.
So,
Come on, let's make an hour at least. Let's make the hour at least.
I'm going to switch over to the bit where you can see. I don't know how well it's going to come across. Here. I'll point this way. Here is the actual book in progress.
Ooh.
This is InDesign, and I don't normally show this screen, mostly because spoilers. BT.
Yeah, but if you've been watching this stream up to now, then you probably know a lot. You probably recognize a lot of what.
But you want this actual bit of book, then like this is the bit you're buying. King Rezaven III tried to unite the Marshes by accumulating a big army, and the peasants revolted.
Mm-hmm.
King Griswold the Inept tried to unite the Marshes with spies, but his spies were terrible and he was bad with paying them, so it didn't work. King Casimir IV and Queen Viorica were able to drain the swamps and create arable farming land and a space to build, growing the settlement of Ravenseat. King Casimir and his queen were able to bring supplies and community to the Marshes. Rather than being ruled by an iron gauntlet, people flocked to the strength of community and togetherness.
Exactly.
Yes. And now for what really happened.
And now for the new entry I've got still the Unwriting. I don't know whether I'm going to leave it here or move it down to be like right above the chapter mark where it changes to legendary figures and just have another one of the actual story.
The skinny.
So my query. We've got Kalen, Saravi, Milith, and Ro.
Indeed.
That's Mir. Very nicely done, Geoff.
Casimir 4.
Do we have, like, my first thought is one of these people is a charismatic bard. I don't know who the other three are necessarily at the moment. But one of them is a charismatic bard who can unite people and bring them together and tell a story and bolster people up and all that side of things.
My thinking is these all need to be different races.
Yes. Is
And
Kalen, and I'm going to go with Kalen first.
Mhm.
If we make Kalen this bard character who can unite the people through the power of speech and song and dance and tales,
Yes.
is he also the leader or the child of the leader of Ravenseat, who's gone off on a pilgrimage and finds the other three, and all four of his companions, these three and also Viorica, come back together and take over the town? like Kalen is actually as close
He's
to Casimir.
he's like the single figure of legend. Yes, I'm okay with. I'm happy
Yeah.
with that. Yes.
He's
Yeah.
the one that, at
he's
the
the
very
one.
least, who set out on the quest from Ravenseat to be like, I want to walk amongst my people before I become the ruler. Screw you, Dad.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh, I love that about templates when you have everything nicely laid out, then you add a new line and you've got to go and reformat everything all over again.
I enjoy how little this requires us to do that. Geoff,
Hi.
tell me about Saravi.
I think Saravi is female, an elf. I could go stereotypical and say elf archer, but I don't. Elf. Ranger. I see her as like the lancer of the group, very much like. Whereas Callan is the outgoing one. Saravi is the sullen, withdrawn, no nonsense side of it.
Sean,
John.
would you like to
Geoff.
describe Millith or Ro?
I'm gonna go for Ro.
Okay.
Ro is a halfling.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue.
Male, female, or non-binary?
Male. I'm feeling male. And he's like he's not the hide in the corner and just like with the hood up going, oh yeah, I'm so deep and mysterious. Oh yeah. He's like like where like Callan is out there and charismatic and everything. Ro is also charismatic and not nowhere near as charismatic, but he's happy to have a laugh, and he's kind of more of a tricksy rogue than a all-out fucking murderer or anything like that. So he's like all about kind of confusing people, like trying to set up traps and things like that to snare and all that kind of jazz. He's not like in your face, I'm going to stab you with 1,000 knives kind of guy.
He's very much like the flashy, look at the sparkly stuff now, I've just taken your purse.
Yeah. Kind of a sly, swarthy, charismatic rogue rather than broody, stabby, what's that? Oh, you're already dead kind of rogue.
Oh, but those are the fun kind.
So are those charismatic, swarthy rogues.
I kind of want, thinking about Milith, I kind of want Milith to be one of our races, be either a wild one or an avian.
That makes sense. Well, do I
I
have
just had
my...
a drink. It was glorious.
Okay, Geoff, got a coin. Technically, it's my inspiration token, but it's got two sides.
Yep.
Inspiration is heads. Not inspiration is tails. Call it and pick, or pick which one means avian and which one means wild one.
Or say inspiration is avian, non-inspiration is wild one.
Wild one.
Okay, that's good. So we haven't really got any magic. We haven't really got any magic users here, have we?
But we also don't have any real bruisers.
So it's either I was thinking, yeah, barbarian or druid, really, isn't it?
Well, we've got
Or multi-class.
Kalen is technically a bard,
Hmm.
so that's a magic user. The ranger can do some magic.
Yeah. If
I
it's a
feel we got
trickster
magic
rogue,
covered.
if it's a trickster rogue, they get magic.
Yeah, if it's
And
an
it sounds
arcane
like
trickster.
I feel we've got magic covered. I think we need someone who run in and hit.
Yeah, we need the front liner.
Not that we're actually building this party, but
we are so building this party. We are building this party, aren't we? You're gonna get character sheets at the back of the book with these characters.
Oh, no promises, but you know.
Wild one barbarian, but that does sound a bit, let's say generic, but it's how I think. Yeah, wild one barbarian.
I'll even spell barbarian correctly, not call her a barbarian. I don't want to have to come up with what a barbarian is.
It's a barber.
It's a very, very sleepy barbarian.
A barbarian. They don't rage, they just nap.
Path of the Heckin' EP.
Hang on a second. Have I got a thing for what's her? Has this got a personalities? Yeah, Geoff, roll me a d20.
I have a d20 right here from Dragon Meat last week.
Convenient.
Oh, la fucking da.
From the very nice people on the table next to us.
They did want to give away a lot of those dice.
They had a lot of them. 17.
Very intelligent. Regularly finishes others' sentences.
Ooh.
Is that a good personality for Milith the Barbarian? I love the idea of a very intelligent barbarian.
It would be
quite interesting.
Especially if we're going to go with all the rest of them. And then no, because obviously trickster rogues need intelligence. So rogue would be a little bit intelligent, but it'd be very funny for the rogue and the barbarian to be on similar intellect.
I got this idea that Milith is the only sane person in the party.
That too.
Following everybody around going, if I don't go with them, they're all gonna fucking die.
Follows everyone to keep them safe.
Okay, so under the what actually happened, I've currently got the description of Kaelin, Saravi, Milith, and Ro. The Unwriting ritual. Removed the Casimir, the adventuring party, the Casimir, or from the history books, and rewrote their adventures.
Just for laughs, capitalize it. Capital C, capital S, capital M, capital R. Just to make it clear that it's like, the actual people, not the name, and it's now been rewritten as the name. Kind of want to go down that route, but it doesn't look quite right. Single legendary being called Casimir the Fourth.
We can work that out.
Yeah. I like that you can see how it's been corrupted.
From within.
Actually, my other question, then. We've got the armor of Casimir, which is plate armor.
Mm-hmm.
None of these party members
Would wear it.
would wear plate armor.
They would not.
Nope.
Isn't it great?
I feel we need to change it so that at least one of them would have.
Where did it come from, though? Where'd the plate armor come from? King's enchanted plate armor in an unforeseen way. I have a question that might help with this.
Okay.
Who's Viorica? What's Viorica? Maybe that's the plate armor wearing one.
Viorica is a tiefling. ...
Viorica, tiefling, paladin. There's your plate armor.
I was going to say either paladin or fighter of some kind.
I mean, I guess that does then also intriguingly have the... Does it actually mention it in this bit of the book? Or is it... No, it's in the future bit where we talk about Viorica being very upset that her husband spends the remaining days of his life in the plate mail. Like, it's my damn plate mail.
Indeed it was. It's not anymore. Bitch.
She's not so annoyed that he got rewrote out of history and all of the four of them got merged into one being. More so that history is now just going to remember her as wearing a dress and being all like dainty womanly person.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the joke about the what is it, summoning the knights to rescue the princess from the evil dragon, and it's a draconic paladin or a female draconic paladin or something?
Okay. Do we need to do any more rewriting of the unwriting? Or any more writing about the forming of the alliance?
I think we need to say how they succeeded where the other two failed. And really, isn't it just like what you do normally is like, you go around helping people, and it's fun to help people, and people can support people who help people.
So do we need to put that in the what actually happened?
That's in the what actually happened. We've got the recorded history down, more or less down. I think what actually happened is they just ran around doing good deeds for people, and people liked that. The Casimir 4 and Vioric.
It doesn't work if they're the Casimir 5.
I know. Or maybe Viorica just chose not to ask to have it, not to have a name associated with the others, even though she was there.
Maybe. She was the unseen armored person in the background.
Or we do a slight name change and it becomes a weird Mighty Nine situation.
Count again.
Mainly the slight name change is if we change Viorica to Ivorica, it's IV4.
To be fair, that's not a bad idea. Iviorica.
I was just trying to work out if we could have done something with turning her into the IV in...
The point is that the unwriting is just going to make history a complete hash, which is what we're trying, pretty much what we're doing right here.
Blah, 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 shimmering, blong, blue.
Search and replace.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you know that whole thing they did in The Thief of Time, Geoff?
Oh, where they explain basically inconsistencies in the series by just saying the monks dumped a load of years into the sea or something.
Yeah. You can't see the gesture, but gestures at this.
Other side.
This. All of the inconsistencies are a wizard did it.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
In it.
I apparently do need to...
In it, bro.
There we go. There we go. I mean, probably going to be adding enough that it's going to push it onto another page. Anyway, and also, these notes need to be refined into actual notes, but, you know. Do we need to put any more detail into the Ballatur part of the timeline at the moment? I think that's pretty well covered because we did a lot of that.
We did do a lot with
in the last
Balator.
book.
So I feel we've. I don't believe there's much else we can add to that.
What we can add to, however, is the Blackwood Wars, which are previously the Holy Wars that happened between the Ravenseat humans and the elves of Taur-Galade.
I have a question before we go into that quick question.
Okay.
Is there a specific date for the unwriting?
Not
Because
at the moment.
Because that could affect everything around it.
We know that at the moment the unwriting was supposed to have occurred still within Casimir's life.
Okay, that's fair.
So it is not too far into the future of the alliance occurring. It's supposed to be like maybe 5 or 10 years after the alliance formed.
That's fair then, yeah.
So, the Blackwood Wars. In the year 364 AC, the Blackwood War erupted between the humans of Ravenseat and the elves of Taur-Galade, a brutal and unrelenting conflict that endured for nearly half a century. What began as a struggle of faith and ideology soon devolved into a war of attrition and marked by merciless sieges, savage skirmishes, and atrocities committed by both sides. The land itself bore deep scars from the fighting, and entire generations were born into a world that knew nothing but war. To sustain their campaigns, both factions established forward encampments, temporary outposts to house their armies, stockpile supplies, and launch offensives. Yet as the war dragged on, these temporary camps took root, their wooden palisades and dirt mounds slowly giving way to permanent settlements of stone and timber. From the crucible of elven military power, Silvarin emerged. Initially a bastion of Taur-Galade's war efforts, it flourished into a city of traders and soldiers, where commerce and discipline intertwine. Its markets bustle with goods from the elven kingdoms and wares from the travellers journeying from the far south, yet its martial origins have not been forgotten, and Silvarin remains ever vigilant for a renewed conflict. Meanwhile, Tays Hall rose on the fringes of Ravenseat's domain, a strategic outpost built to secure human holdings and bolster their holy cause. Named for General Tay and his mighty hall, the military discipline of its founders remain ingrained in the townspeople to this day. Though the Blackwood War has long since ended, its echoes persist in the lands it scarred. Bitter rivalries still simmer just below the surface, and though the battlefields have fallen silent, the ember of that long war have never truly faded.
Indeed.
So I've got a couple of ideas of prompts for this. The first one: the war started not with armies marching, but with a single assassination. Who was killed and what weapon was left behind?
Was it they kill? Was it elves killed human or human killed elves?
That is also a vital question.
How long did the war last for?
What we've got written at the moment is it endured for nearly half a century, so 50 years, give or take.
Does it really matter who started it at that point? One side accuses the other side of starting it. The other side accuses the one side of starting it.
But we do need to know who did. That's what we're trying to get at. Or did neither of them, and it was
They were
a
both of them
ruse.
deceived.
I kind of like that.
Some other group came in, killed, I don't know, Bert the Chancellor, and
That's not a bad idea.
and left a weapon that is synonymous with either elf or human, depending upon who Bert belonged to, and thus ignited the flames of war.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. Now we start seeding a dark conspiracy throughout the books.
Conspiracy.
So, I mean, we've called it previously, it was previously known as the Holy Wars. So is it a cleric that's been off?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say yes. Yes. Some higher up in religious order, insert here.
Somebody at the Unified Cathedral?
Yeah.
The High Cleric. The High Cleric.
Yes.
High Cleric
The High
Bertrand.
Cleric. Bertrand, yeah. Why not? His name's Bertrand. And
I mean, we do have a ready-made cult hidden somewhere in the waste that will come to in a later book, I think.
we do.
The Hunger of
We
Knowledge.
do have a handy dandy cult.
So if we're saying that it was something like the Raptors and the Hunger of Knowledge that did this, is that a commonly known thing now, despite the 50 years of war?
Are the Hungers of Knowledge a commonly known cult now?
No, probably not.
I think there should be simmering mistrust because of it, because no one's ever been able to get to the truth of the matter.
Yes.
All right. The other query as a point to expand upon for this. The Battle of the Broken Vale was a turning point of the war.
Mm-hmm.
What magical catastrophe occurred there to shatter the land and raise the dead?
Someone left some leftovers in the fridge.
Mm-hmm. On a different topic, how dangerous is unrefined cassamite again?
Unspecified. Short answer, yes. As dangerous as we want it to be.
Reading it again. Just read it again. What was the
The Battle of the Broken Vale. So
Mhm.
we've got the location, the Broken Vale, which we know was a battleground in this war,
Yes.
where the ghosts of the war still march.
Hmm.
There is somebody there, Petrus Arezawin, still stands guard over it to stop people just sort of walking into the battlefield and getting taken by the ghosts.
Hmm.
The Battle of the Broken Vale was a turning point of the war. What magical catastrophe occurred there to shatter the land and raise the dead?
So my thinking is, both sides brought all their magical artillery to bear, and basically there is an untapped vein of cassamite underneath it that overloaded.
I like that.
Which ties us back in the idea that unrefined cassamite is dangerous. There's a reason why you refine it before you use it.
Indeed.
Okay. Anything else we want to add to the war?
It'll all be over by Crimmer.
There's still distrust between the two sides because they never quite got to the bottom of what happened, how it started.
It does we have mentioned that there is still bitter rivalries that simmer
Oh, that's
just
fair enough.
below the surface.
That's fair then. Sorry, I see that. Yep.
And the embers of the long war have never truly faded.
That's great. Yep. Is there anything more to say really at the moment?
I don't think so.
I don't believe so.
Do we want to add anything to the violet rot?
It's actually blue.
Hmm.
I mean, do we have symptoms for the violet rot?
No, we do.
The plague was a merciless killer characterized by the rapid appearance of violet-tinged lesions that consumed a victim's body. Sufferers endured excruciating pain as the insidious disease ravaged them from within, and death was both swift and agonizing.
I can't help but notice it starts in the same place that the previous war started.
Yes. Do we want it to not start in Ravenseat? We have a lot of things happening in Ravenseat.
Ravenseat is very much the center of the world at the moment. Maybe it's just a really unlucky place to live. We're moving house. Yay, where are we going? Ravenseat. No. No, not Ravenseat.
I'll get our caskets picked out.
Also, Microsoft Defender would like to
contribute to this.
Contribute to tonight's stream.
Happy
being defended.
There are no viruses.
Well, what about all
ironic
these
since we're talking about the violet rot?
Yeah. It's clearly listening.
Can Microsoft Defender defend you against the violet rot?
Okay, so one other possible history note we want to add, or might want to add. Do we want to put in anything about the discovery of Cassamite?
Do we have anything in the previous book about that?
In both books, we've just sort of had Cassamite is a thing and it does this. It's mined under Lawfell and it's refined at Vectishaven.
But we said now that it can be found in you would prospect for it, really, wouldn't you? You'd prospect for it, you'd find a vein, you'd slap a mining town on top of it.
We know that its central core is under Lawfell. And the main mines that mine it most. There's a lot of M's in one sentence.
Yeah.
Main mana most.
The main mines that mine most of the Cassamite are under Lawfell.
But there are still some sporadic outside in the wilderness. As you know, because you've just blown one of them up.
As we've just blown one of them up, yes. Do we want to put in something between the Unwriting and 258 years later, where we discuss the fact that they find the main veins of Cassamite, and maybe discuss a little bit about its origin?
Indeed.
Did they find it within the... Did they find it before the Unwriting? Was it part of one of the adventures that the Casimir and Ivorica group went on?
Could it be the reason why they were able to? Could it be part of the reason why they're able to unite all the different races and factions?
I mean, could it also be one of the reasons why Ivorica's plate mail was able to survive the Unwriting?
Possibly.
All of these questions and more
are ones we sort of have to answer right now, because that's the point of what the stream is.
Oh, poop.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in.
I am happy that, yes, they, during one of their adventures, they not necessarily go looking for it. They just inadvertently find this material and proceed to like bring a sample back, and it all spirals off from there.
And it turns out it's the color out of space.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question.
Helps if I write in the English language.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've got ideas going around now. Don't know how good they are. So they happen across this material. They don't know what it is, but they obviously name it after themselves because it's Cassamite.
Yes.
Yeah.
They basically found this strange glowing rock underground and brought back a sample. Here's an idea, and this could be a seed that we develop in a future book. Could Cassamite actually be alive?
I have I have wondered the same thing. Mostly because it grows. Like we've discussed that it regrows. That there is a strict amount that you can mine and take away, and it will replenish.
Mm.
So it's either the Cassamite itself is living, or it's a byproduct of something that's living.
I like the idea that the Cassamite itself is living. And going from that, could all the veins of Cassamite that exist form a neural network? Neurons, like a brain?
Potentially.
And then does that have the idea that Cassamite is actually extraterrestrial? Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I do think I'm actually going to move the what actually happened section to be a, rather than a point in the timeline, I'll move it down to be before the legendary figures section.
Mm.
And have it be sort of headed the same way as this. Um, Is there any other historical events we want to throw in here?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any.
Okay.
Is it worth? I say, is it worth at some point going back to the other book and the first book and see if there's any like things that may overlap with this one? I asked John because John is currently the only one of us who actually has the book.
You all have your
Okay, well,
copies as well.
I've got a book. What are you talking about?
I don't.
I still have your signed copy.
I don't know.
Oh,
Only
Geoff,
you. To prevent
I know I've
sorry.
got my signed copy.
I know I've got my signed copy. I'm pretty sure Ben has his signed copy.
Ben and Ben's friend, who also bought a signed copy of their signed copies. Geoff doesn't have his.
Did you give Geoff's one to that guy?
No, we all signed 5. I think the only thing that we've got in here that because we've kind of got the Empire Emerges and the Oak Rebellion are pretty much word for word the same in this book as this book. The only difference is that we've taken out the bit which says, after the Oak Rebellion, the alliance of Casimir spread into Windsfurrow and Haven's Coast. So I don't know if we want to keep that in or put a short, just a short note in the Oak Rebellion section in this book, like this book, the new book, that just says, after the Oak Rebellion, the alliance spread further. Which we could. The other thing I'd like to have the discussion of this evening is to answer some questions I asked in the group chat. And we said we'd talk about it on stream, and this is a stream.
Oh yes, I myself said we should discuss these on stream,
and I agree with you in the sense that that would be a sensible idea. Taur-Galade.
Yes,
we've obviously discussed the we've discussed the region of Taur-Galade, but to the elves, Taur-Galade is the central tree.
And
we discussed the thing we brought up with discussing it in our group chat of the council was we probably need to discuss actually putting Taur-Galade, the city, into the book. So one of the things, Geoff, I've put in there already is that the the Gull and Goose, which was one of the places that got named by somebody at Dragonmeet.
Oh yes,
is the tavern of Taur-Galade. And I quite liked this because it meant that the tavern keeper at Taur-Galade, at least of this tavern, is Old Ned Shucker, who I've determined is an elderly human that the elves get quite a kick out of calling Old Ned. Because he is younger than most of the other, like, to every elf,
He's old. He's
a
older
very
for his human, but he's young for all the elves.
Yes. We discussed the fact that we liked this idea that the tree had the city inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
and that you shrunk down as you entered.
Mm-hmm.
And so it felt like it was bigger on the inside, but actually you were smaller while you were inside it. And I quite like that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that
I just like the idea. I just like the idea now, like Taur-Galade is now just a random tree in a forest.
I also quite like the idea. I have gone through and used a random number generator to come up with populations for each of the towns. And Taur-Galade has 15,000 people living in a tree. About the size of dormice, I'm assuming. So the questions I have. I know the elves are part of the Council of Casimir, but do they have their own leadership in Taur-Galade?
Yes.
Yes.
Are there some who think they should go back to the old ways of ruling everyone else?
Yes.
If they have a leader, is it a powerful position or a figurehead?
I'm going to go figurehead.
I was going to say, you can't answer yes to that one.
Yes.
Want to bet? Yes.
And what is the leader of Taur-Galade called? Because I assume that after the Empire of Balatur, being the emperor, it's kind of like we don't do that anymore.
No, especially since emperors are kind of, they're all encompassing, all ruling. So it's like
You want
they
more like...
they wouldn't stick around their forest if there was still an emperor.
What about a warden or something like that? A warden, or I say steward, but steward's been used somewhere else in another famous property.
I like warden.
Warden works.
What about if we call it the Oak Warden?
Yes. Yes. All one word.
All one word.
Back it?
Millennium Hand and Shrimp.
I was referencing my kobolds from Kobolds Ain't My Baby.
Ah, yes. All one word.
Back it, all one word.
Okay, so there is a figurehead ruler. Called the Oak Warden. What's his name, or her name, or their name?
Or its name.
The Oak Warden. First name the. How do we do names for elves again? It's nature, isn't it? Nature, yeah.
Liaf.
Mm-hmm. Are they the ones with more apostrophes than there are actually letters?
They're the ones that have a number of apostrophes.
Well, maybe when you attain the post of Oak Warden, you give up your family name?
I mean, that makes it easier than trying to think of one, yes.
Uh,
You know how many development decisions were made because people didn't want to deal with something, so they came up with a different way of doing it that made sense with a new thing.
I can't think of a surname.
I was really hoping you had thought of one.
Hold on. Hold on. I mean, so what's the first name we've got so far?
Leaf.
Leah. How about? I don't know if this has been used yet because we've had so many names, so many names. I'm going to put it into the council chat of Quercus.
Don't believe
Okay.
we've used that.
That's Latin for oak.
I like it. There's a figurehead ruler of the elves called the Oak Warden Leaf Quercus.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the behavior and traits guide again. Geoff, roll that d20.
D20.
Roll it harder than you've ever rolled it before.
I'm going to get my harpsichord dice tower out. Hang on a minute. 11.
Laid back and takes their time.
That's
Brings a
fair.
sense of calm to any situation.
If he's a figurehead, that kind of tracks. If he's only a figurehead, that kind of tracks.
I mean, also, is an elf, like, he's got time to take his time.
Yeah.
Like, taking his time for him could be like, I'll consider that and come back to you next year. And what's that to him?
Fuck all. That's what. Fuck all.
Does he go to speak at the council?
Yes, but he's constantly chaperoned because they don't want him to say anything that they don't want him to say.
Does he have some form of official uniform? Or symbol of state? Or
I think it would be a staff carved from the wood of the tree.
I was going to say similar. Like, it's ornate, but at the same time, very natural at the same time.
I suppose the other question for this: do the other species have leaders, figurehead or otherwise, go to the council and speak on behalf of that species?
I think so.
Because in this book, we have Terminalia, which is the capital of the Gnomies.
We do.
Mhm. That'd be first Tinkerer then, wouldn't it, for them? That'd be their name.
Well, no, because they're not the Tinkerers.
Yeah.
That's
Oh no, the
Goblin.
goblins are the Tinkerers. The goblins are the Tinkerers.
So my question is the gnomes' leader Mayor Dewdrop Draperling?
Bless you.
Yes. Yes, 100%. We need them to be the council member or council representative or whatever we're calling it.
He also likes baking.
So he always brings like a bunch of muffins.
He bring his treats for everybody.
Yeah. He always brings snacks for the meetings. Always.
Firmly believing that a difficult conversation is always made easier with a well-made pastry in hand. Which honestly, yeah, I could go for that. Like,
yeah,
that's
100%.
That's brilliant diplomacy.
He is the most powerful man in the room.
You don't annoy the one who brings the donuts.
It's like, what's that? I refuse to agree to this. I am going and I'm taking my muffins with me.
Okay. Is there anything else we want to discuss at this point?
I think, therefore I am.
Yeah.
Again, I cannot think of anything.
Okay. Oh, wait, no. I have a question for us all. And
Then why the fuck did you ask us, John?
Because I thought I was done, but I'm not done yet. I has a question.
Does you?
I does. I would like to have more maps in this book. And I've spoken to Sean, and I've spoken to Rogue, and I've spoken to Geoff. And we've said that we've got a certain amount of cartographying skills between the several of us to hopefully be able to put together some maps of these towns. Now, the obvious one that stands out the most is Lawfell.
What, is that one important or something?
Yes.
Lots
of stuff happens.
Really? Like what? Name one thing.
The Alliance of Casimir.
Never heard of it. Can't be that important.
We've also, by the way, I'm going to make sure that everybody is agreeing on this as well. I'll go through that later. Where else? I feel that Lawfell is the obvious place to have a map of.
Lawfell, Vectis Haven,
Taur-Galade?
Yeah, Taur-Galade. At least to some extent. See, Taur-Galade's a little bit harder because a lot of natural currents and a lot of natural occurrence.
Raven City is just a big sign saying "Never come here."
Raven City is Lawfell.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Ravenseek changes its name to Lawfell.
What's the desert place again? Desert city town ship.
Sanctuary Springs is one of them.
Whichever if Sanctuary of the Springs is the main one, or whichever the main one is, I'm pretty sure it was Sanctuary. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen the map. I should really look at the map.
I mean, I'm more wondering about the ones that are in this book at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but
so I think Lawfell makes a lot of sense. I don't know if we need one for any of the other villages in the Ravenstone Marshes.
for villages, I wouldn't bother. Like, so long as we've got some possible vague description, it allows readers to make them their own.
Do we want to look at something for Siren's Harbour? Which I've designated as a small city.
Yes.
It is the location of the, or just outside the location of the Sirens Academy.
Yes, I'd say so.
And then I also have the small town of Velin's Watch. I don't know if that one necessarily needs a.
I wouldn't say that one
Town
needs
map.
a map. Like if it's big enough that the players could get lost in it.
Yeah.
Yes, it needs it. I would say it needs a map. So like any kind of big city, I'd say map. Or even large town, like large town. You might want a map just to point out where important shit might be.
So Oskandor, which was the first capital of the elves, I've designated as a small city now. We want to try and do a map of that?
Sure. Yes.
And then that's a village. Taur-Galade is that. Terminalia is complicated, but is a small city. We could attempt a map of it, but we'll see how that goes, I guess.
I'd say attempt. If it gets a bit too weird, then just have just where the map should be. Put a big scrawling of "too complicated."
Just a blank page that says "fill it in yourself."
It's the complicated part is that it's all underground and it's multi-leveled.
Or just put a big picture of a bit of ground. It's like, yep, it's under there.
Okay. Now I'm done.
Are you sure?
Probably. Any other business, anyone else?
Again, not that I can think of.
Geoff?
Nope. Not for me.
Then this session is called to a close. Gavel, gavel, gavel.
Gravel, 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 gravel.
Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. If you did, and if you didn't, you're not hearing this.
Yeah. Why the fuck did you come over listen? Fuck you.
We'll see you guys again real soon. We've got some streams coming up.
Streams?
First up.
Didn't know about that one.
First up, though, I have to say thank you guys so much for watching. We have a Discord you can join to chat about the games we're playing and things that we're doing. We have a YouTube channel that you can go to catch up on all of the previous things that we have done. And we have a new look at the website, which has all of the stuff that we've done, all of the events that we're going to. UK Games Expo is now on the front page of the website because it's less than 6 months until we go to UK Games Expo.
Holy hell!
So, you know, that's coming up.
Fuck.
Which also means it's like 5 months until we need to finish this book and work on getting it printed. We are currently at 115 pages right now.
115? That's like this many.
It is more than the last book, I believe.
It is. Because, like, in terms of the numbered pages, not indexes and appendices, we had 96.
Well,
Yeah.
the last book was like dipping your toes into these waters. Now we're kind of like setting sail properly.
Now we're chucking you in with cement
Now we're
shoes.
chucking you at the deep end.
I'm intrigued to see what happens when we collect all 4 of the books together in the big ultimate Tamrinor guide. Because that will be a very big book, potentially.
And then the musical, and we hold it up, and it's
We can't hold it up. We fall under its weight.
fall under its weight. We get crushed. We crush a small child.
Where was I going with it? What point am I at?
You were thanking people for watching, and we got a website where we got the Games Expo and all that.
And these are the streams that are coming up. Except they're not, because it's wrong. Because December screws with our schedule.
Damn you, entropy.
I have the dentist on Wednesday, which means that
You're gonna stream that? You're going to stream the dentist on
Tuesday, we're doing Minecraft. On Wednesday, we're not streaming anything. On Thursday, I'm getting on a train and going to Newcastle. I'm not streaming that. And then I'm away next weekend. So basically, of this schedule, Tuesday is the Wednesday Minecraft.
And then nothing.
And then nothing until like Tuesday's Dragon Age the next week. So yeah, December. It's full of fun and games. Tune in and watch our social media for notifications of when we go live and stuff.
Indeed.
And now it's time for me to decide somebody to raid into to keep the energy going.
Woo!
This pulse pounding energy.
Oh, I've got someone on my list. I've got a HP Braincase who is currently doing Minecraft.
Ooh. HP
Braincase.
Braincase. Dragonflight's end busting and working on the storage system. Sure.
Oh boy!
We'll see you guys again real soon. For now, so long. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.